3. Push play.
What's really going on? 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 What's really going on?
Wait, we still jamming. You on mute. Don't let it be a show takeover. You on mute. Y'all, she on
Listen
mute.
up. Listen. I was on mute because it was a whole vibe. I guess it was rocking you. So hey y'all, how y'all doing? Y'all all right? Thank you for tuning into Unhinged Live. I'm Nikita Hansford, also known as your girl Tilted Halo, sitting alongside my good girlfriend Karen Sims of Twisted Threads LLC. Listen, it is a glorious day in September, and we are so happy that you decided to join us on tonight. We have got a wonderful show planned for you tonight, but of course, you already know what it is. I want to go ahead and familiarize you all with how it's going down on tonight here on the show. Of course, we've got an amazing guest coming in with us tonight. Are you excited about this conversation tonight, Karen?
I am.
Oh, girl, this is
very
about,
excited.
girl, this is about to be a barn burner to add to this heat wave, that we're currently in the midst of. Of course, we are going to go to a break, share a little bit of shoulder shaking music from one of our tribe members. And of course, we'll transition into views from the Petty Pew, get into a little bit of purposing conversation because our guest tonight is also a life coach, but she specializes in relationships and work-life balance. So she's also a very good friend to the show. So it's about to go down. So again, I want to thank you all for tuning in on tonight. And I want to go ahead and take this opportunity to welcome all of our replay viewers. We value you and we say thank you for taking the time to come on back to either one of our Facebook platforms, our YouTube platforms, wherever it is that you are spinning this show. We really appreciate you and thank you kindly. Now, I got to get into it. I got to check on my girlfriend because, again, I did mention it's a bit of a heat wave. How you doing tonight, Karen?
I dare I say it's a heat wave because this is a way of life down here in North Carolina that it's just literally hot for no reason. That's what we calling it. So not a heat wave at all, hot for no reason. And with the hot for no reason, the HFNR is like, why? What we doing down here? But I'm gonna say I'm embracing it. You know why? Because technically this is the unofficial ending of summer, but I'm just not ready to let it go yet. So it's sort of like, do we rush into the fall and winter months, or do we embrace this heat just for a little bit longer so we can get a couple of extra weeks while the regular vacation folks go back to work and school now that the unofficial ending of summer has happened? So now I gotta ask the question: we still wearing white?
Girl, we still wearing white because them rules went out the window years and years and years ago. So for those of you fashionistas in our listening audience, listen, go ahead and do your way, as long as your laundry is clean and you're smelling April fresh and ain't no spots of dirt and specks or nothing on your attire. Wear what you want to wear. Just make sure that it is a proper fit for your body type, because just because they make it in your size doesn't necessarily mean you need to wear it. That's right. We'll get into that perhaps somewhere down the road. As y'all know, former plus model here And
Yeah.
of course, I think this is a conversation we would definitely need to include Naturel D in on, because she is our in-house curlipist, our in-house fashionista stylist. So
Yeah.
I definitely want to get her take on what I just said. I'm certain she's going to pop up at any given moment if she's not already there in these comment streets. So, I want to go ahead and move it right along because, I think I see somebody out on the porch again.
Somebody
Karen.
at the door.
And we got good home training. So I want to go ahead and give a quick super fan shout out. Let me get my drumsticks together. Super fans. For a super fan. All right. That was my ghetto drum roll. And tonight's super fan shout out goes to none other than the illustrious lady herself, Pastor Selena Brown. That's right. I'm shouting you out tonight, Pastor Lean. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you something, y'all. It was about 6, 7, 8 years ago. About 8. Carried on. Yeah, about 8 years ago, where Pastor Selena was hosting her own radio show on Red Ink Radio Live. And she took the opportunity mid-conversation to invite me to come in and sit on a panel with her about sisterhood and the importance of having your girlfriends around you. So I got in that studio and got on that microphone, and let me tell you something. She flung the door of opportunity wide open for me that day. It was from that day forth, pretty much, that your girl began to rock the mic on Red Ink Radio Live, sitting alongside brother Kevin Satterfield, the CEO and founder of Red Ink Radio Live himself. So I want to go ahead and give honor where honor is due. And as our overseer often teaches us, thank you makes room for more. So thank you, Pastor Selena, for always speaking life into my destiny. And speaking over me, what you saw, years ago, you did say to me in conversation that you looked at me and you saw a one-woman show. Well, looky where we are. Tilted Halo Broadcast Media Entertainment is a year old now. I'm building, I'm growing, I'm climbing, and I'm stretching out on some of these creative gifts in the marketplace, all because you were kind enough to extend me an invitation that I happily accepted. So thank you so much, Pastor Lean. I appreciate your prayers. I appreciate your laughter. I appreciate the fact that you are realer than real. Shout out to BK and all of your sons. Pastor Selena, you're doing an amazing job in growing our local faith community up there in Stroudsburg at the Greater Shiloh North campus. Girl, keep going, keep growing. We love you. And you already know I'll call you in a heartbeat. And I'll ask you right now, if somebody know where she is, tell her I'm asking her, Pastor Selena, how can I pray for you today? I love you, sister girl. And I thank you again for always in pushing us to walk in our vision and to living the purpose that God has specifically for us. So yeah, all right. I don't want my guests to leave. All right. So because I'm over here being grateful for things.
Snacking in a minute. She's gonna be in there. She's gonna be back in the back.
She'll be in that candy shop in a minute. So Karen, do you want to do me a favor and go ahead and bring our guest in as I begin her introduction?
Absolutely.
Listen, there's so much I can say about tonight's guest. You've already heard me make mention that she is definitely a friend to the show. Not only is she a friend, she is family. Because I know for one thing, she picked me up off the side of the road while I was nothing but a little curly haired girl on the Pennsylvania state line, grieving the loss of her mother. But there was something unique about the connection that I made with Dr. Spencer when we were taking some Forex classes together. And I tell you, it's like I've known her forever. She is an innovator. She is a visionary. She is an entrepreneur. She is a mother. She is a daughter. She is a mentor and a friend to many. And I'm so glad to call you sister friend on tonight. Welcome to the show once again, Dr. Spencer. How are you tonight, beautiful?
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me. I am so sorry. Wait, is that me echoing?
It may be, yes. Keep talking.
But don't worry
Okay,
about that, because
I'm
you know we
sorry.
don't require perfection.
Yeah,
We
I'm
don't
sorry. Is
require
it still me?
perfection. We just require your presence.
Yeah. Is it me? Because I don't hear it now.
Nope, you're good.
Okay, I didn't even touch anything.
Good.
Okay.
You're fine. You're fine.
Thank you so very much
That's
for having
okay.
me.
Well, that's all this electricity, all this power on the line.
It is. And I'm apologize because I thought I was still backstage. So I was reading something. It just so happened I looked up. I said, oh, I'm in the show. Thank you so much. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. This is why we love you. You are real. You're
Yes.
touchable. And the thing is, when people see you carry the title coach, or basically any title of any kind with any type of alphabet letter, they tend to hold you to an continue to show what real is and what real does and what real can do. So thank you for being realer than real, Dr. Spencer.
Thank you so much. And same with the two of you. I mean, you guys are real
So
too.
check it
You
out.
know,
I want to go ahead. Oh,
go ahead.
okay. I think StreamYard is trying to be strange tonight. And I think I also heard a doorbell, but that's all right. It's not mine. We're gonna stay right here. So Dr. Spencer, I
It
brought
wasn't
you
mine.
onto the show tonight because I I noticed that you are actually working on another book project, The Deck of Diversity. Would you mind talking to our listeners about that?
Well, I am so excited. So it's called the Deck of Diversity, Changing Lives Through Our Profession. The reason why it's called that is because I feel like with the deck of cards, it's 52 of us, and we're all different, whether it's your race, religion, creed, demographics, whatever. And I want to showcase that because whether we give ourselves credit or not, we have changed lives in our professions. And so most times people think, well, I have to be a psychologist or a psychiatrist, a therapist, or some sort. But that's not necessarily true because you have changed people's lives, whether it's formally or informal. And I wanted to showcase that because we have gone through some things in our lives, right? Especially that go all the way back to childhood. And because of that, we have been a beacon of our community, our churches, our jobs, whatever. And I want to showcase because we are considered what I like to say like the hidden figures. We're not like the celebrities you see on TV. We're not the big bloggers you see on the internet. We're just regular people, but we have such an impact. And so I wanted to bring that forth, but I wanted to do it big. So I figured this since you ladies know we have been in the book together, and I wanted to, of course, give you a shout out again. Of course, I know it's the, I don't know, 20,000 times. We're gonna make it 20,000, 21,000, whatever. I said that wrong, but y'all know what I mean. It's 7 o'clock. I'm a little sleepy, but anyway, So again, we have our editor, formatter, Karen, and then we have Nikita, who actually did our cover. And I said, you know what? We did that together. And I said, we're going to do it again big, but we want to make sure we're going to put it in Times Square because I want our names and our pictures and everything to be in lights. So that's what we are working towards. I have a publisher. His name is Dr. Ken Rashawn of Perfect Publishing. And he has about 700 books published under his belt. And he going to get us on that Jumbotron. We're looking for maybe November, December. But if it doesn't happen, then that's okay. We're going to be there. So I need everyone to make sure you participate. But that it doesn't stop there. We're going to go to the Today Show. Okay, and we're going to do that too. We're going to get us in there as well. Now, of course, when you start making these promises, especially on social media, you got to make good. So I'm gonna tell you, look, I'm making good on that. Okay, so I am doing it now. Right now, I'm looking for authors, and we wanted to change a little bit because we know that holidays are coming. Lovely Karen is not going to be Sims anymore. She's getting married. Okay. And then, okay, her bestie is going to be in the West. So I want to be cognizant of that. So we're asking people, even to be prototypes in this. So it's no charge right now. It's going to be just prototypes. We want to put the book together so that we can see, so people can see, not just us, what it actually looks like. Because we have already the cover, but we want, again, we're going to put those words in there too. So we're doing prototypes. So I'm asking people to please send me an email at Dr. Lamar Spencer at Gmail. That's DRLAMARR at Gmail. Send me an email and with your contact information, which is your name and email, and I'll make sure that we reach out to you. So thank you, ladies, for so much. I appreciate it because you know I can talk too much, and I'll be like, long story short, and it have 15 parts in between. So thank you so much.
All great stuff. Super excited to hear about this new project. You know, Dr. Spencer, we know you are always up to something. And so that's one thing we have in common, but we love it because you are connected to some amazing people who literally, as you said, are working on bringing impact to the corners where we are in. So doesn't matter whether you're like, well, I haven't been to the mountaintop yet. We gonna climb the mountain and get on that mountaintop together. So excited to hear more about the project. And for those of you who have thought about authorship, or it's a project that you want to know some more information about, I will tell you that Tilted and I can absolutely say Dr. Spencer will make sure to take care of you as part of the process, to make sure she is communicating well with you on what, you know, the roles and responsibilities and that journey to authorship can be for you. But it doesn't have to be the full daunting task of you. Maybe you're just like, I don't want to write a book all by myself. I don't want to do that. This gives you an opportunity to come alongside other great authors and say, yes, we can put our minds together. We can put our separate experiences together and work on how it gels, as Dr. Spencer has mentioned, the prototype. What is it going to look like? What does diversity look like in your life? Because it's going to look different than what mine looks like. And so as we bring it all together, I love that decks of diversity, because we get all different type of things that's coming together. Oh, but when we bring them together in the deck, we already know those cards. Listen, you get to throw them out and figure out. We just passed Labor Day, so some of this stuff, somebody was at a spades table, you know, throwing something down. So we are super excited about that as well as we think about what ways we can support you all and the dreams that you have. We always are looking to connect with, to keep you all connected with the folks that are in our corner as well, because we know that with good people, not only will your dreams come forth and be manifested, but you get to make a greater impact in the world. Why? Because you weren't trying to do it by yourself. You see the format that we use here. We're always coming alongside other folks, other ventures, to ensure that more voices get involved in it, that we can share in the impact journey, and that we get you on a direction and path that you need to be as well. So super excited. Y'all already know.
Yeah. And can I say, please, one more thing?
Yes.
On the book, your names will be on the front cover.
There you go.
Because we want your mama and them to see your name. And you know that I say your mother and them, your mama and them.
That part.
Because we from down south too. So we want everybody, we put everybody, like I said, because a lot of times we don't get this opportunity. I probably would never, if I, you know, it's all about connections, right? It's about meeting the right people at the right time. And so even for our first book, right, that was like we laid the groundwork, the foundation for it. Now we say, you know, we're gonna go here with it. And that's really what it's about. But even what you ladies are doing, I'm so super proud of this because, you know, we started kind of like at a similar place, right? And look at us now. Like you guys are like, when I tell you doing it, I am like super, super happy. I may not always click the like button, but guess what? I'm right there cheering you on.
Yes.
Okay. I promise you I'm cheering you on. But I'll go back, I'll be like, you know, let me just go back and hit it. But I am cheering you guys on with love. And again, don't worry about, oh, I can't write this, that, and the other. We most of us are not like astute authors. That's okay. That's why we have authors. That's why we have formatters. That's why we have all that in common. So don't worry about if you say ain't instead of is. That's your word. It's okay. I don't know how to spell necessary, but
But we got spell check and some of the other ones. They not cutting us no checks, so we not gonna name them all. But listen, they will come alongside you and get that auto spell check in
that's right.
place, so that
That's
however you decide you want to spell necessary or necessary, it depends on what you're speaking. If y'all got some
that's right.
audio types for you,
That's
that is going to all come together. And so super excited for it. And I love that you mentioned, Dr. Spencer, that maybe you are not thinking about yourself as an author. But guess what? I tell you, well, no, I can't say that. But one of the lines that my boo say all the time, you gotta give the storyteller something to write about, a story to tell. So now you got a story to tell. You've overcome some things. You got some life experience. He usually saying that when he acting up, but that's a whole nother story. You have a story to tell. Come on and come alongside us and let's hear what story you have that has impacted your own life. Start with you first, sharing that testimony and put the words on the paper. I promise you, we've got coaches, we've got people who will come alongside you and pull that gift out of you as we go through the writing and editing process, so that you are able to what? Check that off. Maybe it's on your bucket list. Maybe it's just something that you're like, I thought about it, but I never thought it was an attainable dream or goal for myself. Here is the opportunity. So I appreciate you saying that. If you don't consider yourself a writer, you may be a storyteller, but
Mhm.
if nothing else, you got a testimony to share that will impact the life of somebody that is right at the beginning, where you've gone through the first leg of the journey. Maybe you're at the finish line and somebody needs the blueprint of what it is that you'll be able to share with us. So I'm excited about this, excited to hear, another opportunity that you get
Yes,
to push forward with. So great stuff.
yes,
Well, thank you
yes.
so much, Karen. Now, Dr. Spencer, you spoke about people being assured that they would have all of the help that they needed should they decide to jump on board with us with the Decks of Diversity project. Now, I want to take it back because I love to share the story about how it's going, or how it started and how it's going. So you are actually, again, I mentioned that during your introduction, you are an innovator, a visionary, just absolutely stand out and unique. You are actually in business partnership with your daughter, with Aaliyah Lamarr Publication. And y'all know I'm always watching. And I see y'all have been out in the streets together. Talk to us about the work you're doing, your 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 publishing company with your daughter, and what your experiences have been like with her going out to these different networking events.
Can I tell you, like, until I really looked at the papers the other day, like, we're equal partners. And it's so funny. Like, I can't make a decision without the 15-year-old legally. And I was like, I think I must have did that wrong. Like, but Jesus, like, take the wheel. And I'm like equal partners. And she kind of reminds me of that too. But I have to say, when we go out, she is on it, because she checks me with things, and I'm like, you know what, you're right. And it's different now, right? Because as children growing up, you weren't allowed to have a voice, right? It was like you could be seen and not heard. But she is right there front and center. Like, once she gets out there, she's good. Now we know I got a teenager, so it's the getting out there part that needs deliverance. It's that getting out there. But once she's there, she's there. You know, and again, it's important. Not just the business ownership is important, but I want her to be visible. I want to hear her voice. And the one thing that kind of stuck in my mind was not the money. It was okay, we want to do good with people and by people, but it's I don't want her to go through the things that we have gone through on jobs where they tell you, hey, tomorrow you got a meeting with us because we want to chat. And then you get on the call. They're like, well, by the time this meeting ends, your job is eliminated. Both of you ladies know I have gone through that. Like, did they just say that? But I'm going to tell you something about these ladies. When I tell you, God has his hands on me, and I don't want to be like, super religious because I know some people are not. But I remember specifically telling Karen that she said, oh, don't worry about it. Don't. And just saying that. And next thing you know, I'm like, okay. And then I went on free podcast and a prophet has said, you know what, you're going to be doing different things. And I'm like, this is scary. This is like really scary because I ain't prepared for this. I don't know what all this stuff is about. And then next thing you know, stuff started falling into place. And I always said, when I go somewhere, I'm bringing everyone with me who wants to come. So all of these adventures, I'm going to call them, I'm bringing people along too. So, but I need you all to jump on board. Don't tell me you ain't got the time, the money, the this, that, and the other, because if you believe in the higher power, he's going to make a way. So I need us to be at the table when I say, come along, because we sitting down. Okay. As I learn, I want to make sure that everybody else learn too. Hint, hint for some of you in the comment section, So, but I have to give credit, I say it all the time. If Free wouldn't have opened the door for me with podcasting, all these doors wouldn't have been open because she's the one who introduced me. I didn't know what a podcast was. I started going on, learning about it. The next thing you know, things started falling into place. So she's the one who actually laid the foundation for me. So, I got to give her credit. As you ladies too, you heard me cuss, cry, and everything else. Sorry, Saints, but it's the truth.
Hey, and it's the truth that makes us free.
That's right. And beside the coloring book business, which we just did a backpack, we gave out 350 backpacks, not just for me, but group. So they gave out that. And then also we started a vending machine business and we give to the wounded warriors. So, we want to give back too. And again, we are really, like I said, this is the foundation because I knew nothing about this. But our coloring books is really important because they have something that's positive in each one of them. And anybody can read them and look at them. It's not saying, well, we're ashamed this. The kids can't see this. No, it's across the board. Even we thought about people, if you have like dexterity issues or something, is affecting you. We have something from everybody. Like I said, I want my mama and everybody else to be able to pick it up and be proud. So that's what I am. We have people we don't realize that stand on our shoulders, and we do. So we have a social responsibility. So that's what I am. I'm just trying to make everybody proud that, that say, if you can do it, go ahead, girl. And that's what it is.
Thank you, Dr. Spencer. Thank you. I want to ask you. No, you're fine. You're just fine, honey. I want to ask you to switch your hat right now because we just talked to the publisher in you. I want to talk to the work-life balance person. I'm going to put that hat on right now. How do you manage to balance being a mother, a working professional, and an entrepreneur day to day?
One thing I had to learn was give up control and power. I had to learn that it's not easy because we don't think that other people can do what we can do, especially for our business, ourselves, or whatever. We don't always think of things like that. We always think, I know everything. And we don't always say it, but that's how it comes across. So even somebody like my mother can give me advice on things. And I'm like, you know what? That's what it's about. How I balance, believe it or not, is you have to have people in your life from different backgrounds, right? And this is, y'all know how I am. You need that professional. You need that person who's like a con artist, but they trying to do right. You know what I mean? Because when it comes, I'm going to tell you, right? And this is the God's honest truth. When I negotiate these deals, I take like my cousin or his friends with me that's been locked up forever. I take them. And the reason why is because they know how to get us those deals, but they're professional. You know what I mean? They're professional. And because, and this is the truth, because I lean on them so much, but because they're very well read and they look the part, they're astute, but they street, I take them with us. Okay. I promise you. And we make a killing. And you need that person, right? And you need that person who is, you're right. You need that person who is church, they say, but they'll cuss you out.
Wait,
Right?
this why I got to be on mute because we don't never know what you gonna say.
Yeah, you know, I know. You need that person, right? So it's like you gotta have them
But
people.
you're right. You're right.
You know, and then you need that person who just like my mother, she just if it's on her mind, she'll just say it, right? And she's so cool with it because I'm like, Mom, you will cuss somebody out, apologize to Jesus, and feed them in the same wavelength. You know, like I'm a cuss up, but I'm
Oh,
a
I
feed
felt
you.
that anointing. Hold on.
Yeah, but excuse me, Jesus. You know, and you need to, and then like my daughter's 15, so I need her because I need to know what these kids are thinking because she is the future, right? So you need these people, and yeah, I might be book smart, but that's good when it's time to lay out the contracts and do the negotiations. But I'm gonna say 60% of it is all those people, right? And you need them, and so that's kind of like that's the balance right there. But then also I had to realize that, and you ladies taught me this too, and free and just people like you need that technology, right? Because I'm like pen and pad, and I'm like, no, I got to get rid of these cheap big pens, and I got to, I got to step on that. Like I got to be like the Jeffersons, right? And I had to move up, so I had to learn technology.
Yeah.
So I had to do all that. So you got to get people in your life that knows technology. You got when I say technology, you need them people who are good with implementing like your vision. So
Mm-hmm.
you need the people who, okay, they're good with that technology, but you need the people who, like I said, little scamming kind, because they know how to toggle around all that stuff and download stuff that you need to help you with like your leads and you know all that stuff. To capture your information without you knowing they captured. When I say information, let me rephrase that. Like your email and your name, not your address.
Right.
But you need those type of people. And then you need people who are well connected. That's all they do. They just make connections. That's it. And when I say connections, like the business connections,
Mm-hmm.
and then you need people who like hood, because them the people gonna support you, them hood ones. And then you need people who have like, when they say I'm on a fixed income, because them the ones who like, I got $5, baby, but they're gonna give you $5 every time they get their check. So you need all those people. This is what I call it like the board of trustees. And balance is, like balance is not always 50-50, it's just not. Balance is something that you create, right? But you gotta learn to turn off. Erica Badu had a say her song, right? I can make you put your phone down. And it's true. You gotta put that phone down. Because business is not always 3-4 in the morning or 3-4 in the afternoon. You gotta learn to say, okay, because really your mind is not optimal every minute. You gotta put the phone down, right?
Yeah.
And again, and recently I had to do one thing. I had to get a little VA, a little virtual assistant. Now I'm gonna tell you, she's good. I had to get her right, and I was like, can I afford this? But I had to get her because she keeps me like, Lamarr, don't forget in 10 minutes you have this. Like she sent me the link for this. You gotta have your link. Now again, you need these people, so that's how I balance. And then also, I go to events where I know that people like to talk like me. And sometimes we're not talking about business. I'm just going there because I just like to have a good time. So it's not always about the money and the connection. My connection is like, when I need you to pull up, are you gonna pull up?
That part.
Those are the connections. When I need an extra prayer or something, can you give me a scripture or something? So, that's how I kind of balance it. And then the end, like 10% of it is probably cussing and crying, you know.
Listen, I love
You
it
right.
because Tilted, you know that when we say Dr. Spencer is in the building, we getting
In the
it
house.
real and raw. And many of us sometimes stunt our own professional and personal growth because we don't keep it real with ourselves. Okay.
Mhm.
Because I love it. Shout out to Maribel. She put something up there. It's like, this is Karen doing emails. Like, do I answer
Yeah.
this hood or holy? Like, am I gonna answer this from the hill version of myself that know the Christ, or am I gonna come straight at you from the corner of New Jersey that I know? Like, let me, per my last email, because y'all know they can get it at any time. But it's so interesting as you share, Dr. Spencer, your experience, and you started talking about the partnership with your daughter, and even the things that you learned about yourself to like have that balance. As you are thinking, and this might be a pop-up question for you, but what is one area that you are learning from your daughter? So your mom, in our eyes as parents, a lot of times we're like, we got all the answers. Well, regardless of whether we think that or not, there is usually opportunity for us to share and learn from our offspring. So what might be one of the things that, just kind of comes front of mind as you think about, what, I'm learning a good lesson in this from seeing my daughter, watching her do business with me and build and grow with you?
I had to laugh because the other day I was in the car and she shocked me so badly. I was like, I'm so for so long, 20 plus years, I have been in strategies negotiation, right? So sometimes I'm like, nope, this is where it's gonna be. That's it. And she said to me one day, last week, she said, you know what? She gave me my nickname. She said, you know what, Nene? One day somebody gonna cuss you out. And I felt out.
Like, it ain't always gonna be your way. It's not gonna always be you put all of the dotted line on there. Listen,
And I had to laugh. I swear I laughed for like, it must have been about 20 minutes, right? And she said it with such a straight face. And I had to call my mother and tell her. And my mother fell out laughing. And that's all she said. She said, you know what, Nene? One day somebody gonna cuss you.
and it's a real thing because everybody is not willing to negotiate the way that we negotiate. So I love that because you'll remember that.
It's so funny. I can't, like, the way she like turned, said it, and turned, because we were in the car, and she just like, and I was laughing. She was like she wanted to laugh, and she was like, and it's the truth. And I like, because sometimes I feel like people try to like get over, and that's really what it is. Like, she doesn't get that part where it's like they just try to play us, right? But she checks me. Like, we were somewhere, and I'm the one like always giving something for free, and she's like, you just gave away $10, right? Like, you do know that. And I'm like, okay. But it was funny because she's on her phone, and I'm like, she ain't paying attention. You just gave us $10, right? But that's what she said last week. She was like, somebody gonna cuss you out. But I had to laugh. Now again, if I would have said that to my mama 10 years, when I was a kid, oh, boom. But
All
but
these gone, just
yes,
gone.
yes. My mama ain't the same mom. Like, that's her granddaughter can do no wrong. So
Yes.
that's different. You know how it is. Y'all know, like, it's different, Karen, But yeah, that's what she said. So yeah, I learned from her. Like, sometimes you just gotta basically like know your audience, and you can't be turned up all the time. So yeah, that's what I learned.
That's a
Well,
good one.
listen, Nene, we just want to thank you for all that you've shared with us on tonight. I have to
Yes.
use that more often. Shout out to your sweet, precious baby girl for being
Yes.
in her position in your life as your young folk coach. So she can keep you abreast of what the young folks are doing out here in the streets and making sure that you are maintain relevance as you both move forward with your publishing company. So before we move forward with your interview, Dr. Spencer, I want to go ahead and take the time to acknowledge some of the folks that's done popped up in the chat room. We see you out there, beautiful. We see you, Free. How you doing, girl? You know we love you, and we are covering you and standing with you in prayer during this season. And welcome back to the airwaves. I know your people missed you with your delightful self. I want to go ahead and say, hey, Miss Nadira Muhammad, we see you. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that's family right there, Karen. That's family.
Listen, this one of, you know how you have those work people that turn into family, right? Because we done, you know, I'm just gonna say Dr. Spencer, she done caused me not to cuss out a couple of people. So she get a special place. Be like, now Miss Karen, what? What? So so she may or may not listen. She been tried by fire. Oh, good.
And she's still standing in your flame. I know that's right. How did I know that was kindred right there? How did I know? Shout out to Natural D. We see you in the chat room with your beautiful self. Thank you for stepping in the room and gracing us with your beauty and your presence on tonight. I actually see one of my soul Viking brothers that's been pulled up to the room. My brother, my big brother. Shout out to HU alumni. Or am I speaking into your future, Derek? Derek Clayton, thank you so much for tuning in with us on tonight, sir. You're greatly appreciated. And I'm excited for you about that role you get to play at the Super Bowl on the early part of next year. So thank you again for every one of you who've tuned in tonight. We are Unhinged Live. I'm your girl, Nikita, also known as Tilted Halo, sitting alongside my good girlfriend, Karen Sims of Twisted Threads LLC. And of course, we have the illustrious Dr. Lamarr Spencer here with us on the platform tonight. Before we go ahead and transition into the next portion of the show, Dr. Spencer, I want to give you the opportunity to go ahead and tell our listeners where they can contact you, how they can contact you, and perhaps become a part of your next book project.
Sure. So this is so easy, right? I said, you know what? I forget all this other stuff. Anyway, Dr. Lamarr Spencer 360.com. DRLAMARR Spencer SPNCR 360. That's how you can find me.com. Can y'all put in chat? Because I don't know how to do it. It's just, oh, here's a button that said join the chat. Thank you.
It's all good. We got you, Doc.
I see I'm still learning. And then the book project is Dr. Lamarr Spencer at Gmail. I'm sorry, my dog just came in. I'm so sorry. Okay, see you later. Thank you. Oh, sorry. Dr. Lamarr Spencer at gmail.com. Thank you so much. See, that 360 was easy because everything is right there except for I haven't updated.
All right.
Oh, and then the Gmail. Sorry. Thank you.
I got you.
All right. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate you. Like I said, come on with this book. Can I just give one little quick thing, right? Example. So just an example of, just Dr. Lamarr Spencer at Gmail.
Oh, okay. We'll correct that.
That's okay. Sorry. I just didn't want people to be like, what? Okay. Thank you. So anyway, one of my friends, she's a beautician and she's a real estate agent. She's like, what am I going to write about? I'm like, girl, do you know, beauticians are like therapists? Like, are you serious? You think you change your life? I said, I remember I used old cheap Bantu perm years ago. My whole head, that's before quick weaves and lace fronts was out. And I told her, I said, you glue hair from this side, brought it over there because, salt and pepper was out. That was the thing. And I said, next, you changed my life. I couldn't go in my company with, half a head going. And then I said, next year, I didn't even have edges, just got edges a few months ago back. And I said, and then next thing I went to work and it was cool. But yeah, sorry. But yeah, so those are just examples of, what you're right about. You change people's lives and not even know it. I didn't mean to talk about the edges.
Thank you, Dr. Spencer. It's okay. So I'm just over here. Listen, I'm just relishing in the fact that I could legitimately submit an ode to my edges as part of this deck of diversity,
We didn't have any
because
edges
I'm
last
sure
time
y'all
we
heard
voted.
me praise God.
Yeah, you heard me. Remember, I said y'all pray for me.
I
and
praise
realized-
God for my edges.
Yeah, them edges is serious.
For sure.
They might come out tonight. Oh Lord Jesus. pray for me.
We're going to keep them intact. We're going to do our part to help keep them intact.
Or I pencil them in with a
What
sharp.
our
So
We are
she
doing
said,
it.
pencil them in. Listen here. We're about to segue into our break. I got to ask our sister DJ Twisted Threads over here in the building to go ahead and take controls as we share another shoulder shaker tonight. Tonight's shoulder shaker is from our friend to the show, tribe member, who will actually be a guest on the platform next week. Our brother Bliv Mash. You know, I've been a fan for years, and you know, y'all have heard me and you've seen me sharing some of his recent work, but this is another one that used to get me bopping and motivated in the morning to remind me that I got blessings and double coming my way.
All right.
So go on and shoulder shake with us for a little while.
All right. We're going to get it together for blessings in double. Here we go.
Okay. Okay. People doing subliminals, they just actors. I'm on a different level, son. We in a different bracket. Negativity's a habit. It's not a good look, like a worm stuck on a hook and a fish nibbling at it. Unless you change your pattern, a reality grab 'em. Y'all ain't gonna play me like King did Adam. Am I my brother's keeper? Apparently not. If you water the tree with hate, then the fruit's gonna rot. I used to stress, have my stomach in knots till I opened up my Bible and read the story a lot. He was a man who had a lot, but had everything taken. He would not lose his faith, he would not be forsaken. He lost his whole fam, and if that ain't breaking, it shows the strength of God's much stronger than Satan. Never cursed the Lord, and his blessings were double. So spreading the word of God's the only way that I hustle. People say you can't be good, what they talking about? All that negativity. Out.
I get my blessings double. Stayed away from the streets. I stayed away from the trouble.
Weed it out. People say you can't be good. What they talking about? All that negativity, we gon' weed it out.
I get my blessings double. Stayed away from the streets. I stayed away from the trouble.
Weed it out.
I don't just listen to my self-talk. I do the walking, now I'm growing like a beanstalk. When I was young, I used to get up after teacher's chalk. He raised the board and said, get off that Columbus stuff. I had enough. At 16, I took a puff. It felt like heaven till they told me it was angel dust. My life changed when I was chained in them handcuffs. I got bust, I realized God really had it rough. I must adjust. My mentor told me not to rush. He said, learn the art of war so you can't be touched. You can't paint a perfect picture, man, without the brush. If you don't get the ball, then how you know you clutch? If you always think small, then you always need a crutch. If you don't stand tall, you fall for anything. If you don't stand with God, you see what the devil bring. I try to turn a rebel into certain things.
People say you can't be good. What they talking about? All that negativity, we gon' weed it out.
I get my blessings double. Stayed away from the streets. I stayed away from the trouble.
Weed it out. People say you can't be good. What they talking about? All that negativity, we gon' weed it out.
I get my blessings double. Stayed away from the streets. I stayed away from the trouble.
Weed it out.
All right. Blessings in double.
Yeah, that was nice.
Blessings in double. We back.
I'm sorry, I went like this. It was like a little net, and I'm like,
We
oh.
back. You all right over there, Dr. Spencer?
Yeah, it was like a little net. You guys have heard like there's like the gnats and the bugs out here. See, I should have been more classy like Karen with the little fan. Like,
Flick it away.
Yes, we just put that back and put that down. We keep them close because it's
There
hot.
you go. Mhm.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the little dollar store fans will hook it up. For those of you who are tuned in, you are tuned in to Unhinged Live. I'm your host, Tilted Halo, sitting alongside my good girlfriend, Karen Sims of Twisted Threads. And hanging out with us tonight is our guest, Dr. Lamarr Spencer. So, we got to get into it because it's a little bit of a jokey joke, haha, kiki time. Now, you see, we pulled out our church fans because we getting ready to, go ahead and share some of our views from the Petty Pew on tonight, Dr. Spencer. And of course, we welcome your commentary on the topic of conversation tonight. Dr. Spencer and I are currently located in New Jersey, and we are living with this challenge day to day that, the governor and them had issued us somewhere around May of last year, where they put a ban on plastic bag uses, or at least stop the grocery stores and different retailers from giving us plastic bags. So now we have the responsibility when we go to a store, we got to make sure we have our own bags. And then some people have now had to become accustomed to bagging their own merchandise, their own groceries. And I don't think this situation is going very well for too many of us, it seems. I know I have my own thoughts to share on tonight on this wonderful plastic bag ban here in the state of New Jersey. And I understand that it's also being implemented in certain surrounding areas as well. But I cram to understand why they told me that they was not going to give me a plastic bag no more at the grocery store. However, what you did in doing that is you stopped me from my little reusable tie and throw away real quick. I never kept garbage in my house because I still have, them carry out plastic bags in abundance. But those help me keep garbage out of my house. So you stopped me from using those, which I was actually recycling, by reusing them as garbage bags. Now I got to spend more money to purchase garbage bags to throw my garbage in every week. It's a whole capitalistic setup out here in these New Jersey streets, according to Tilted Halo. I mean, it don't make no sense to me. And I need help understanding. Not only am I now forced to spend more money in buying plastic bags, buying bags, you're selling me plastic water bottles still.
Come on.
Make that make sense. Half of the merchandise that we're purchasing, especially those of us who are single and just want to grab and go meal, well, I tell you, that little roasted muck chicken is in a plastic container. Gatorade bottles, plastic. Listen, I could keep going and going and going, but I want to go ahead and yield the floor to my co-host and tonight's guest to share some of the challenges you may be facing. I'm going to go with Dr. Spencer first. What are some of the challenges you've been facing with this plastic bag ban madness here in New Jersey, Dr. Spencer?
Well, I've been getting bags like my mother or someone give me bags, right? So now I have like all of these bags in the garage. But then when I get to the store, I forget that, what, we need to bring our own bags. But I have had several meats spoil in my trunk because it's nighttime. Instead of having it in the bags, they're like tucked all the way in the back of the trunk. And next thing you know, I'm like, I know I had this. Where's my meat or where's whatever? And next thing you know, I open the trunk and I'm like, oh my God, if the cops
There's
about
a
me,
lot.
somebody back here. So that's been my challenge. Now I have all these like other, they still plastic, right? Well, you know what I mean? The other recyclable bags, but I don't have the plastic. I forget to take them to the store still. But my thing is this. If you're going to do away with plastic bags, then you're right. What about the other plastic? But then did y'all have to give us paper straws? Because by the time I go to McDonald's or whatever, I get the paper straw. By the time I get home, my straw broke. So now I don't have a straw. It's stuff like that. Or like most of us, and I'm speaking people color, them little plastic bags, we flour our chicken in the bags.
Ooh.
We put them on our head when it rains.
Conditioner cap.
We put them on our head. Yeah, conditioner cap. When it rains outside, you want like a little bonnet. Garbage can bags. those were multifunctional bags. Now I gotta go and buy little bags for all of that. And I had to go buy the bag. I'm like, shouldn't bags be free like that? So see, mine go way above like the grocery store bags. And then you're trying to protect the environment, but we're so close to New York and surrounding areas that now I go outside and because it is a fire in somewhere else, where's it, Canada or whatever, I go outside for sky orange and I got smog, I go take a shower, I go outside and now my arms smell like city trash. Like, so which one is it? I mean, maybe y'all who came up with these environmentalists, maybe you missed that class, in school or whatever. But come on, and then you have cars that failed emissions. I know I had one that failed emissions, but I wasn't gonna buy one. But I'm just saying, like you're worried about the plastic bags in the stores, but you're gonna kill us when it comes to the smog. And now I can't get a straw, but I'm paid the extra $2 for this drink because of inflation. I mean, I'm just not getting it. So this thing, but like I said, most importantly, I gotta go buy. I gotta live like I'm in '82, where I got the Jerry curl cap because I gotta go buy the Jerry curl cap instead of the bag. I gotta go buy trash bags.
You hitting it on the head. You hitting it on the head for
I
sure.
think I got PTSD. I'm sorry to be go that far.
No, you hitting it on the head. I'm over here. I done fanned myself because here's my challenge. I definitely am from New Jersey, grew up in Jersey, but I don't reside there. And so I happened to take a trip, and thankfully, I had a handful of things because I was told on site, you ain't get no bag. I was like, where the bags at? And the people walking around and I said, help on aisle 7. We need help on aisle 7. Oh, I need a bag. Oh, we don't get bags. What is you saying to me? Okay, listen, nobody got cussed out, but they was this close. Like, what you mean? No, we in a store. In the store, you give a bag for my purchase. Like, you telling me I'm coming in here to buy all this stuff, and then you just literally you on your own, however you get this to the car. What are you saying to me? So I have a little bit of challenge of that. Then the challenge for me is, okay, that's fine. But what now we replenishing the 500 bags that we done stuffed in the 3 plastic bags that could fit the most plastic bags at the house. I don't trust nobody who don't got the store plastic bags in your bathroom. If you got them little cute scented things, I'm not staying long, okay? I'm not staying because I don't trust you. I want to know that you got them a little bougie, a little hood sometimes, because you do all of that. Now, the one thing we forgot is we also use them with the paper bags to get rid of the oil. Now, what are we doing with the oil? Okay, maybe I'm saying too much about the environment, but at least have an opportunity. For me, I'm just saying, out of towners, are you from here? You from out of town? Actually, I'm from out of town. Well, give me a courtesy bag so I can get it to my car. Now I done bought all this stuff, and I don't know how I'm going to get it home to the peoples to do other stuff. Listen, this is a big deal to me. Now, I know, y'all probably been dealing with it and y'all got all the things, but shout out to the conditioner, because listen, when I did my last wash day, I couldn't find the shower caps. And what you think I did? Did you think I suffered? No, I went there and rinsed off one of them plastic bags and put it on top of my head. Who saw me? Nobody. But since we talking about it, and might I say, it worked really well under my at-home dryer. That's all I got to say on that.
Listen. We celebrated edges earlier today in the conversation, and I promise you, those plastic bags from the grocery store have salvaged many edges, many a day. Because like you just mentioned, Karen, we can't always find the conditioner caps that we purchase. Because I know for me, them slippery little jokers tend to slide out of the little crease and the joint that I keep them in. I don't know what that's about, but at the end of the day, I just run to my stash. Okay? And my favorite plastic conditioner grocery store bag is from ShopRite. That yellow, is something about the yellow in that ShopRite bag that make that conditioner do what it do even better. I don't know. I don't know. And in conjunction with the hot air from the covered dryer, listen, curls be popping, protein conditioner, moisturization, pow. All it is from a yellow ShopRite hair conditioning bag. Listen, ShopRite, if y'all listening and y'all decide to brand that thing, I said it here first. I'm coming for my check, all right? I'm put a tilted halo on that and call me, all right? Yellow, yeah, that ShopRite bag does wonders for them at home hair treatments that require. Yeah, listen, I don't understand it, and you mentioned the oil, and of course we're right here on the New Jersey beaches, and beaches globally. Actually, we're witnessing the fact that a lot of the marine life is starting to show up closer to the shore these days than normal. And y'all want to get on us behind the plastic bag, but yet and still, this Bath and Body Works lotion is in plastic. But in anyway, let me jump off of that subject. All right. I got 3 life coaches sitting here at the table tonight. All right. And your testimony, okay, y'all know Revelation 12:11 is my top dog scripture. We got to tell these testimonies to help somebody. Now, we got some people in the audience who may be dealing with some struggles raising adolescent children. All right. Now, I know we all have our own experiences. Now, if I can ask each of you to share 2 words of advice to any parent who may be struggling to raise an adolescent child. Now, let me add a disclaimer to that because I see a church finger, Karen. I want you to give the advice that's not going to cause anyone to catch a charge on this evening.
Thank you. Listen, we are so connected.
Because I know who I'm sitting with tonight.
The statute of limitation has not yet run out. This is not the day for that story. So I just want to remind most of y'all that my children's, the statute of limitations has run out. So I can't hold water no more. That's what I got to say on that. But I just want to remind folks, if y'all in the comments or y'all want to share, remember to check to see if the statutes of limitations has expired for what you're about to say. Or like our Tilted would like to always remind us, make sure you change the names of the interested parties to protect the innocent.
Protect the innocent out here. Protect the innocent. Okay, have at it. All right, Dr. Spencer, you just look like you got at least 5 to share it. Is that a little bit of a scowl on your face? Is you scowling tonight?
And away, the dog gone. Where the dog at? The dog is gone.
Wait, she going through. Let me fan my friend.
Look, I'm going through. Look, can I just put a little disclaimer up here too? Y'all probably see me itching a little bit because I've used what's that Beijing hair dye to turn my edges white, and it gave me an allergic reaction. I ain't on cracking that like that. I just want to let y'all know that's where the real issue comes from. Anyway.
Listen, you're gonna always get the whole truth, nothing but the truth when Dr. Spencer is here.
I just want to let y'all know because people are like, why you fidget? Because every now you like, because that Beijing dye, leave it alone. If it's on sale, definitely leave it alone. You can't sue them because they're in a different country. But okay, let's go. Every time I come on, it's an edge or to hear something. But anyway, girl, I don't think mine only 15. I don't think the statue is gone. But you know what? We're in a different state now. That was in Pennsylvania, so I know they ain't gonna extradite me over that border. Okay. I don't know. Like, my daughter's very entitled. I mean, I tell her that all the time. I told her before we came on, I was like, you know what? I hope God don't decide to take me anytime soon. You're going to be lost or whatever I said. It's the truth because she is an only child. And not saying because she's an only child that she's entitled, but yeah, like she told me she's sitting right there. I know it's like, my daughter I could work all day. Okay, can't hardly move. I got MS and just be looking hot mess. And she will sit there until it's time for me to cook dinner. She's used to me cooking. She be act like she ain't, but she is, okay? And that's the truth. Because I felt like, you know what? I didn't really want her to have like a lot of fast foods and stuff. I wanted to cook home because that's what my mother did for me, right? And it's the truth. Like, and I don't know. I mean, I wish I had some food. I wish I had some better suggestions, but I struggle with that myself. You know, it's like, but I have to say, like, she's a good kid. She's honorable. She's all of that, right? But you know, when it comes to certain things, like okay, like being proactive, you know, being a self-starter, no. But it's not her fault, really. I mean, I created that, so like they say, be careful what you create, because you know you kind of will it back, but by the time they like teenagers, like you know what you gonna do is hard. Now, my mama said, "Oh, you can, you know, to whatever was in arm reach, trophy, shoe, book, tree." You know, like I swear, my mother used to exercise with us. I was like, okay, you know what? She's exercising with us. No, I think she was training to like be athletic to kill us almost. You know, when I say like it was, you know how you had back in the day, your cousins come over and everything. Like I really thought she was training, like she was Olympic training. But it's hard, you know, like it's hard parenting growing children, because on one hand it's like they say things and it's funny, but you know back in the day they say don't laugh because it ain't funny. You laugh now, you're gonna cry later, and that saying is true, because a lot of times I'm like, okay, and I give her passes sometimes, and I'm like, dang, I shouldn't have gave her a pass on that, and I do, and she plays on it because they're very strategic, and that's what they do, you know. But I have a suburban kid who I probably should send to the hood.
Not the hood. What is you saying? Oh my
She don't
goodness.
know hood stuff. She thinks like if you guys are, you know, from Jersey, she thinks like Plainfield is hood. Like, no, I should have took her to like Cabrini Green in Chicago, you know, like 63rd hood, you know, like Bergen, Elizabeth Ave hood.
Lord have mercy. First of all, could we just say most of the children that are connected to me, whether they are grown or otherwise, like my children are the street thugs of Bethlehem Township. That's the entire statement. Okay. Like you not thugging nothing. Y'all not gonna make it on Elizabeth Avenue. Don't go over there to get no chicken because you ain't gonna make it out. Don't worry about the White Castle over there. Can we just talk some real talk? Y'all don't know what hood is. Because this new hood ain't the same as the old hood. Now, granted, the more dangerous parts probably are more dangerous. But what y'all consider being hard,
they hard.
Ain't even a Twinkie.
Right?
It ain't a Twinkie.
They don't know what it is to walk. Let's talk about that.
Listen.
They don't know what it is to walk. You're right. Because, you know, here I am, little Miss Suburban, single mother. And, you know, I'm telling my child, listen, I want you to go to school and focus on your education. I'm going to go out and get it for us. But, you know, I live in a rural zone, and they oftentimes drop the pedophilia nation off in areas like this. So I had a whole nother area of concern. And it was not necessarily that I was trying to build an entitled child. I was just trying to protect my baby by making sure she had a car to drive after she hit a certain age. So I didn't have to worry about her and that baller call of booty of hers walking up and down the street, pulling in unnecessary attention. Yeah, she get it from her mama. She got it honest, y'all. Oh, I'm sorry, she get it from her mama. But listen, you know, that was one thing area I was looking to protect her. But again, our children don't even know what it is to walk. And Dr. Spencer, please don't drop that baby off in the hood.
Don't do
They're
it.
gonna eat her alive.
Don't do it. Don't do it. That is the purpose for my statement.
She don't like going on. She be like, "Is this is the hood, Mom?" I'm like,
she ain't been in the hood yet.
You ain't say that when we went up. You don't think Plainfield's a hood? You don't think East Orange?
No. What you need to do, you need to do is take her into Patterson, New Jersey, hop off Route 80, go straight, bust a left, and then turn right. And take her on a visual. Make sure the doors is locked, okay?
I'm not going, so I don't know how. Just let her I'm not going, okay? Let's just put it out there, all right? Because I'm just saying, we love you, girl. We love you, Aaliyah. I promise you. However, I know she
I
ear
said, you
jocking.
don't think
I
you
know.
could? She was like, oh, that.
Listen, ear jocking. I get it. We love you, girl, but we gonna make sure your mama don't take you over there because neither one of y'all may not make it out if you drive too slow. That's all I got to say. Don't drive slow. If you going through there, you know, like take pictures and review them later. That's my vote for it. Go through, but just drive and you know, we don't want them to think because
Listen.
That's all.
We ain't going 2 miles an hour so everybody sees
No,
us.
this ain't the time.
Because we go 2 miles an hour, we might get jacked. Real talk.
They're gonna
Now,
pop
listen.
right out that car.
Listen. You know, we're cracking all these jokes and it's a whole lot of ha-ha, kiki going on. But I brought this to the table tonight to really have the conversation on about what it is that we can do as we're giving our children the things that we want for them, what's better for them that we actually had for ourselves growing up.
Yeah.
How can we avoid rearing an entitled generation?
You know, I'm gonna give a shout out to Dr. Spencer because as much as we are clowning and laughing, I think one of the best things that you can do is invite your children to your hustle.
Yeah.
I promise you, because they're watching anyway. They got an opinion about it anyway. Sometimes you inviting them to the hustle doesn't mean always that you're going to have another generation in the family business. But sometimes that education right there, that exposure gives them the opportunity to be like, you know what? I don't want to do nothing that daddy did. I don't even know what mommy do, but I know I want to do it for 12 hours a day. So that ain't going to work for me. Giving them that exposure at all different levels. So yes, letting them know what kind of work you do, starting business ventures with them, being able to ensure that they understand that these meals that they eat, as spoiled or not spoiled as they want to claim, it came with a price. And that's a real thing because they will remember that. They're not going to remember what you spent all of the time. They're not going to remember every single thing, but they're going to remember the experience of, you know what, even when I didn't want to, my mama made me get up and make sure that I was about the business. She made sure that if I said I was going to be there, I was going to be there. Those are the things that help us. And also help your kids by allowing them to volunteer somewhere. One, so that they know the difference between being out there about business and giving back to the community. So, you know, I shout out for you, Dr. Spencer, all the time, because I think that as much as it gets challenging, you are doing the most right. You're doing more right things with your child than a lot of people will do because you are not allowing for her just to sit on her bum and be like, oh, well, you know, mommy gonna make this happen. Maybe she doesn't do it in the same way that you're doing it, but she sees the things and be like, you know, she recognizes somebody might cuss you out, mommy. But even in that, what she's saying is, you know what, that's not going to be the direction that I take. I think that we're going to get to where we need to go, but I need to find another tactic because in her mind, she like, now what if these people cuss me out? Like, I'm not going to really do well with that. So you're giving her something to think about. And I think for most of our teenagers, when they get into trouble, most 99% of the time is because they was bored. Because they was bored, that they picked up something and did something that they didn't understand the consequences.
And you know what? Here's the deal too, right? Because I told her one day, I said, gosh, I think I messed up. So because in my mind, I was thinking, okay, we're going to have businesses that kind of are like self-sufficient, like they can run themselves. And so because she turned 15 a little later than her other classmates, so a lot of the job opportunities were already taken, right? So I was like, you know, create your own. Now we got the vending machine thing, but here's the other caveat to it, right? Is that it's not every day. So she still gets to chill in the coloring books, She still gets to chill, but when we go out, we work because we got to get the stuff out the car and all that. But I'm like, wow, I probably should have gotten her involved with something that's like daily that you had to do, right? But I wasn't thinking about that because I was thinking like I'm gonna be tired myself because this times I'm like, this is a whole day job for me. But you're right, like so I kind of wanted to put it out there, but yeah, like some days I'm like, look, you got to pull that card, you got to do this, you got to do that, because I'm tired, and it gives her the experience.
That's a
Great
good.
stuff.
Yep.
Yeah,
Great stuff. And I have to agree with what was said earlier, in inviting your child to your hustle. I'm grateful, for my child who said to me, Mommy, I don't know if I want to go to college. And I thanked her for saving me 20 grand,
80.
for going to school for something she wasn't sure she wanted to do for half a season. So I'm grateful for the mornings where she and told me, Mommy, I don't feel like it. So I allowed her to take mental health days and come into the office space with me, and opposed to her just sitting in the classroom on the computer playing games all day, because she had that as an option. She preferred to come sit in the office with me. So I began to show her what it was to put paperwork in alphabetical order properly by last name. And then once she had a handle on that, I just give her the papers and tell her to file them and how to file them. And it became like clockwork to her every time she hitched a ride to the office with me for the day. She became my office assistant. Fast forward, she basically earned her college degree in the marketplace, managing, an organization for 5 years. And, I got to pat myself on the shoulder. I did that because I made sure my daughter was secure enough in knowing that you don't necessarily have to get your education in a traditional manner, but you can actually be hands-on. And that in itself is the best way, or at least for me. I'm very hands-on, I'm very visual. It's the best way for many people, many of us, to learn. So now, boom, she's steadily climbing up the insurance game ladder because she came in well equipped, managing those books at the store, learning how to deal with difficult people. This is something that she now does professionally, day to day, wearing a pantsuit. How about that? So thank you, ladies, so much for sharing that insight on, giving some tips on what it is we can do to well round our children as we're giving them the best that each and every one of us got. I mean, because that's what we do. I know I live to make a way for my children. I don't mind sacrificing for faces that look like mine and some other folks too. Exactly. So yeah, thank you so much for that share. What's going on, Dr. Spencer? You have something to add?
No, it was so funny because I've been in pharmaceutical for like 25 years, like legal, right? And I remember my daughter being like 2.5, 3 years, and she was at the daycare, and they was asking her like, "What your parents do?" My daughter's like, "My daughter sells drugs."
It was your profession, though, not. I love that.
And the kids,
she was slanging them pharmaceutical things.
It was funny because I used to even bring her to work because, this is important even too, right? I was a single parent and I was driving like from Pennsylvania into Jersey, like an hour and 20 minutes each way. And there's times where the daycare closed, but you still got to get to work and it's snowing there, all kind of stuff, So I remember having to take her into work like, look, y'all, I'm going to be here, but I need I don't have a sitter. So can I bring my daughter? And she would sit there and just calm with her little stuff or whatever. But it's times where I have to give them credit because we still keep in contact, like her daycare teachers. And I think people don't give daycare teachers enough credit because they had her since she was like 6 weeks old or whatever it is. And they treated her very, very well. But yes, it was funny because even the teachers were like, they knew exactly, what I did for a living. They knew because some of their parents were involved, but they just thought it was hilarious. But I was like, did she just like say, my daughter, my mother sells drugs? And was like, it was like, oh, Jesus Christ. Oh Jesus! I'm sorry, y'all.
Love it, love it, love it. But it was a
See,
true
that was the
story.
Lord. See, you acting up.
I know. Okay. And then it's little gnat and mosquito in there, so you see me all here, and then the dye going. Y'all, I got a
You
whole.
doing fine. You doing fine. You doing
I
fine.
got a whole, and the charger just fell. That's a joke, and I almost cussed, but I realized I was like, "Oh Jesus, I'm on the saints is in here." Excuse me, y'all. Oh Jesus,
Love it, love it, love it.
I'm sorry.
See, she calling on him and he answering. See,
Yeah. It just caught me off guard because it kind of scared me. And you don't sneak up upon us like that, and we don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? So I was like, "Oh, but okay." I'm sorry, y'all.
Say it.
Jesus, take the wheel. I like y'all
and he
show
will
because
do just that.
yes, we be having a good time on here.
We do. We do.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So thank you to each and every one of you for tuning in. We are Unhinged, and it's all the way live up in here on tonight. I'm your girl, Keita Tilted Halo, sitting alongside my good girlfriend, Karen Sims of Twisted Threads, and of course, the illustrious Dr. Lamarr Spencer herself. We love sharing our stories. And can y'all tell there's a reason why we're authors sitting here? Because each and every one of us have that many more stories, that many more testimonies to share from our life experiences to this point. Because I'm certain the three of us are going to go on many adventures together moving forward. I mean, because that's just who we are. We're friends who've become family. And I just want to thank both of you for taking the time to cut up with me tonight in this very informative conversation. And thank you, Nadira. I did see your comment where you like my story. Hey, we keep it real, around these parts. And sometimes, some of the advice I've given to mothers in the past when they've asked me, how do you raise your children? One key piece I give is make sure when you're dealing with your child, you acknowledge the fact that you're dealing with a piece of yourself. Some of them wild out behaviors, that slick mouth, that cunningness that they may display every now and again, it's all you, baby. So check it out. You may not have appreciated the way that mama, daddy, uncle, grandma, them dealt with you when you manifested back in the day. So you might want to try and temper it to the person that you would like your child to become. Now, they're going to call a certain number if we pick up wooden spoons, tennis shoes, and tree branches to redirect our children these days. But there are other creative ways to discipline your child without resorting to violence. I'm still traumatized to this day by how my mother would make me sit down. All right. And write sentences from simply being the loudest person on the block. Write sentences. I will act like a young lady in the streets 500 times. And I couldn't get up from the table unless I was done or unless it was a bathroom break. She always made sure I had water and something to snack on while I was there. I wasn't absolutely in the pokey, but she made sure that it was ingrained in me how to act in these streets by making sure I wrote it so many times. I better act right in these streets as a queenager to this day. How about that? So thank you again for tuning in to Unhinged Live. We're swiftly approaching the end of tonight's broadcast. What's going on, Karen?
Church ain't good. So before we head out of here, every now and then I got to take the opportunity to kind of take charge and commandeer the direction of the program. But I want to remind us, as you see the bottom, it says vote for Nikita Hansford. But we want to put it up there for those of you that don't know. So our illustrious sister, Nikita Hansford, aka Tilted Halo, has been nominated by the Interstar Institution for a Trailblazer Award. And and she is a Media Trailblazer Award nominee. And so you get to vote not once, but you can vote every day. So I want to remind you, vote today. I think you can vote tomorrow too. So as you're taking your vitamins during the day, go ahead on over and make sure that you get that information on over there as well. It's super important for us to, one, we're supporting each other in all of the things that we do, but I would be remiss if I did not take this opportunity to shout out my sister for her nomination and for how we can support her through our votes. It's a whole bunch of folks you could go over there and vote for. I know about half of them. Some folks just gonna win because I said any, many, miny, mo. It is what it is. Vote for everybody you know, but make sure that you are specific and focused with this vote for our media nominee, our own Nikita Hansford. And now I'll give you the baton back. Every now and then, I got to come through and all day. All day.
Can I tell you,
She
ladies, that
thugging
my
with love tonight. She
Love
thugging
it.
with love tonight. Oh,
Can I-
shucky darn, Karen. Thank you, sis. This has been an amazing, amazing season for me. Y'all know it's also my birth month, and I put it out there last week for Natural D. Now coming forth to the table for me. If y'all want to cash out for Virgo, hit my DMs, yo. If y'all want to Venmo a Virgo, holla at me. It's some things that are happening that I don't necessarily want to pay for. Won't you be a sponsor today for my birth month's shenanigans? I rock with Zelle, Venmo, anyway, get at me, all right? But most importantly, I believe you saw it earlier, there are advertising opportunities available as well here on the platform. If you want to get down, again, go ahead and inbox me. If you don't want to do that, you can actually give me a call. It's a phone number, y'all. It's a phone number, 484-548-5740. Why don't y'all jump on the train? Y'all think we doing something now, baby. We just getting started. Because I might have a little bit of the raccoon going on. You got to know it's because I get vision in the middle of the night, and half the time I can't sleep because I'm trying to figure out a way to implement the download that has been added to the blueprint I've been given for this platform. And I declare we're going places. We're going to be going further than even our minds can fathom. So let me jump up off of that and go ahead and invite you all to get ready, get ready, get ready. You know what time it is. Do you have a mirror? Oh, the mirror is you. So sit down, take a seat, and prepare to receive yet another meaty morsel from our very own, my sister. I love her so much. She's so pretty. She finna get married, y'all. Oops, and I'm sorry. Our very own in-house master life coach, Karen, now her last name Sims, a twisted thread.
My daughter's over here clowning me, y'all, so just in case you hear it. She is over here. She was like, "Did you hear what
We're gonna put y'all on mute for 90 seconds. Here we go. All right, now here we go. Reflections of purpose. Y'all already know we get in here, and we want to give you a quick word to remind you. And today, as always, we come to you with the title. Today, the title is One Step at a Time. One step at a time. Listen, a lot of us are looking for not only how to start a thing, but how to continue the work that has been put to our hands. Maybe it's a business, maybe it's the book, maybe you are trying to figure out what's that next step because you don't want to stay where you're at, but there's more for you. Sometimes though, we get ourselves in situations where we've gone to the restaurant and we ordered more food than we could eat, or we hooked up with somebody who liked to run 5Ks and we said, yes, on day one, I'm going to do a 5K with you. That's foolishness. Listen, we even know that when they said from the couch to the 5K, there's a process for it. And we want to remind you today that you want to digest that big goal into smaller tasks and goals. Why? One, so we can celebrate, but two, so that it's not so daunting that you abandon ship. You know what happens when we go through that abandon ship moment? It's because it got too overwhelming, because it was too big for us and we didn't know where to put and compartmentalize every single thing. Well, with that, we had to figure out, how do we get that done? You got to make sure that you're taking one step at a time. As you are taking one step at a time, it gives you a clear vision. You got your fog lights on and you can see a little bit further because you didn't take the whole journey and skip to the end, but that you're enjoying the journey. You're enjoying the roses. You're enjoying every portion of the connection as you're moving forward. Listen, there's always going to be something for you to do, always something for you to put your hands to, always an opportunity for another goal. But don't let the end of the journey overwhelm you during where it is you will be going. So we want to remind you that a day, one step at a time, one thing that you are focused on, and make sure that you get to complete that. Multitasking is not for everybody. It's okay if that's not your testimony. If you're like, I need to do one thing, do that one thing well, and know that all things are working together for your good. So that's your reflection and purpose for today. One step at a time. Make sure you're doing it. We're going to give our sister Nikita another opportunity to come on in here. You see how these internets be acting up? I be telling her all the time, Dr. Spencer. I tell her, I'm like, something is wrong over here. I don't know what it is, but now I'm trying to unmute the mic and it's doing something else. Okay. All right, I hear you. There you go. Well, as we are closing out, we're trying one more moment just to see if Tilted will be able to get back in here. But we're excited that you all came to join us. We're excited that you withstood the ride for us the whole time. And we are happy that we get to push us forward. Listen, we already know that there's going to be a Just Be. It might be an opportunity for another pop-up, another live, another Tilted Halo moment in your future. But as you are just being, make sure you just be okay with yourself today. Why? Because there's better opportunity for you tomorrow. We're excited for all of those who will join us for the replay. For those that have joined us tonight, we want to thank you and give a special high five and virtual hug to our Dr. Lamarr Spencer.
Thank you.
Thank you for the laughs, for the jokes, and for the realness that we know every time we bring you here. We know you're going to bring the realness. So we're excited about that. Shout out to your daughter as well, as you all continue to do great things together. Y'all, listen. We are now at the end of our show. Y'all roll with us the whole entire time. We want to remind you, share this broadcast with your friends, be a part of the conversations. Make sure you don't miss us when we come right back again next week. We'll be here again on Tuesday, as we've already said, next week with special guest Bliv Mash. Share with your friends. You're gonna want to hear another great smash session as we come together and give you the best of what we got. Dr. Spencer, it's just us. You know we can stay on here and act out, but
I know.
We're gonna end it respectfully because it's being recorded. Now listen, once I press this end button, it ain't my fault what happened after that. But we're so excited that you all got to join us today. Remember to share this broadcast with those who are in your circles, because we are building, we're growing, and we want to create opportunity for not just us, but everybody that's connected to us. So if you know somebody that's doing something great, send them on over here. We're gonna have them on our platform as well. Everyone, make it an amazing evening. Make sure that you are creating impact in your world. We're glad you joined us. Have a good one. Wait a minute. And then tilted Halo turns. And we out.